paint for us. That's why you see our 3-point attempts higher than we typically have, which we needed to do. Would have liked to shot a little bit better from the 3-point line, but the driving lanes and the spacing was difficult with the way they guard and congest the lane.
Cameron?
What did you see from Odyssey, and what kind of gave you the confidence to give her so many minutes today, and what kind of impact did she have? I mean, she played a bunch down the stretch.
Yeah, as you know, that position is, we are playing our starting point guard and our backup point guard are hardship players. Odyssey doesn't know one play call that we have. You know, we tried real quickly to get her up to speed, but she's a pro. And I knew she could defend and she could facilitate regardless of schematically. Obviously, we had to keep it very generic and very simple. When she arrived last night at 2 a.m., she's only going to know so much. So, but she's a pro, and you knew what potentially she could give us. And I've coached Odyssey before and have confidence in her. But you know, we're at the highest level of women's basketball, and thankful Crystal's been, really a pleasant surprise for us. On being able to step into a difficult situation on hardships, and now as the starting point guard. And Odyssey, who arrived in LA, got to the hotel at 2 a.m., had to play that many minutes. I just give these guys credit. That's the adversity that we are trying to handle, and it's remarkable what this group is continuing to try to do and stay positive through all the adversity that we continue to endure.
Coach, today was another gritty performance by the team, and still, with about 7 minutes to go, the team managed to squander another lead. What's the root cause of the team's inability to close?
Yeah, again, we have to, when it gets really tough and gritty, like you mentioned that word, we have to execute on the offensive end. We've got to be a unit to get stops. Everyone's going to talk about that, but I want to talk about how we did play in a tough situation. Again, we have our 2 point guards at the highest level don't know our playbook, and we're competing as best as we can.
Coach, when a team has 5 players in double figures before the end of the third quarter, that's usually a good sign. What do you feel like happened in the fourth quarter where you weren't able to hold that lead and win this game?
Yeah, I think, it goes back to we need to get stops to be able at times to play in transition. We played off of made baskets or dead ball situations a lot in the majority of the fourth quarter. So it takes out the whole element of playing fast and trying to score your offense before defenses get set. They were much more effective in the fourth quarter because they were playing off of made baskets and playing off of dead balls. So then that comes down to offensive execution with our playbook really shrunk. We got to step up and make some plays. We executed tonight within what we tried to do to a lot of open shots. And while we had a night where we, were flirting with 90 points, we missed a lot of capable open shots that this group is definitely capable of making.
Last question.
Coach, just 12 points from the Sparks in that fourth quarter. What were the biggest challenges? You've mentioned already the guard play and just the hardship contracts kind of being an issue. Do you feel like with the points in the paint was a big differential? Obviously, that's what the Sky love to do. They love to score inside. What was the biggest difference to you in the first 3 quarters compared to the fourth, with the way they were able to kind of get those points in the basket and the Sparks were unable to kind of hold on there?
Yeah, I think it's what we've talked about. I mean, there's no one thing. I thought there was a concerted effort in the fourth quarter to isolate Lindsay Allen off the dribble to get in the paint. There was isolation for Michaela Anyewele off the dribble, and they certainly threw the ball a lot to Camilla. And I thought that her size and strength gave Azare difficulties. And so then you try to counter and you play the small lineup and they have to guard us at the other end. So then you start searching, but then you're a little bit smaller on the boards. And again, they dominated us on the glass by double figures in the fourth quarter.
Thank you, Curt.
We're pulling out in 30 minutes.